Okay, so you can be forgiven if you've done a double take when you see this bus headed in your direction. Hopefully, its color scheme is just one part of a successful effort to attract young people who want to come inside. When they do, they'll find educational opportunities like they've never seen on wheels before. It's the latest effort by Collaborative for Children to go where they are needed most, to stress early childhood education. Dr. Melanie Johnson is the president and CEO of Collaborative for Children. Thank you for joining me this morning. For those viewers who may not be aware, tell us what Collaborative for Children's mission is.
Yes, well, Collaborative for Children is essential to the Houston community. It is geared to improve the school readiness of every child across our community so that when they enter kindergarten on day one, they are prepared to learn.
So early childhood is the focus on all of that, and I've studied it, I know about it, so I know that it's important. How early are we talking about that we need to have children in some sort of a learning environment?
Absolutely, from birth to age 5, you know. In the state of Texas, kindergarten is not mandatory. Neither is preschool or pre-K. However, we want to make sure that the brain is getting the stimulation it needs when it's developing most rapidly. You know, 90% of the neural synapses in a child age birth to 3 or birth to 5 are being developed during that period.
I think when people hear that, they don't quite, really? So instead of parking them in front of a TV, there are other things that can be done. I know Collaborative, you spend some time trying to make sure that those kinds of programs are healthy for young people.
Yes, and what's healthy is not so much parking in front of the TV. You're absolutely right, Cambrell. What's healthy is the stimulation. What you're trying to do with young children is build a broader environment for them so that they can navigate the world around them and have the social, emotional skills that are necessary, the executive function, and the cognitive skills. And so the more you talk and interact with a child, the better they are off in terms of learning and being ready for school.
Well, it seems to me, I look at this Collab Lab. Where did the idea for that come from?
The Collab Lab is because it was developed because you know, there's so many child care deserts in our community. In fact, more than 90% of our children live in child care deserts in the greater Houston area. Absolutely. It's daunting to even think about that. So the Collab Lab was developed so that there wouldn't be any obstacles to us getting to children who need it most, wherever they might be. And so we put that excellent school with 21st century skills, with robotics and all of the bells and whistles, and we are putting it on wheels and driving it right into the communities that need us most.
You know, I saw the big kickoff. We got video of that lab, and it came in with fanfare, and I noticed that inside were the kids who were just so fascinated with what they were doing. And hands-on. I mean, it looks like that's part of what you're trying to do. When you talk about education being something that gets their mind stimulated, this lab, this mobile lab, kind of does that.
You're spot on. I mean, it's inquiry-based, it's 21st century skills, it's technology like renewable energy for infants and toddlers, it's coding for babies, and yes, robotics, all those wonderful things that might be integral to their successes in the future, because we have no idea what skills they will need when they are adults.
I'm still stuck on something you said just a few minutes ago, which was 90% of the area is a desert as far as early childhood education is dealing with it. How do you start to chip away at making that a better scenario?
Just like you do any mammoth, one brick at a time. And so we are starting off with communities like Galena Park, Acres Homes, and Greens Point to make sure that, you know, the children in that area don't have to struggle with child care quality deserts.
This whole process is an ongoing mission. What can people do? I mean, viewers who are there and they want to help, what's the best way they can help Collaborative for Children be a better focal point for education for these young kids?
Well, there are a couple of ways for sure. One is to go to collabforchildren.org and make sure that you check out our website, because we've got tons of resources, and we love to have more and more engagement for our community to partake in those resources. But you can also donate there, and you can volunteer. You
do lobbying do you do any lobbying work? I know that a lot of times the laws that deal with our young children, sometimes the lawmakers have to be kind of persuaded and just at least educated about what's out there. What's the latest as far as what Collaborative is doing is related to that?
Yeah, so we work with great partners like Children at Risk and other organizations that carry those, the direct service output that we are able to encounter, they carry those right to the legislators so that necessary changes are being made. We could not possibly do this work without legislation changes.
You've been doing this for a while. You're focused on these young children. What is your biggest warm spot when you see some of the successes that happen as a result of what Collaborative is doing?
Well, I'll tell you, on the day that we unveiled the Collab Lab, the children, when I talk about inquiry-based, I mean, the children were truly trying to solve their own problems by the teacher just sitting beside them and facilitating and letting the child lead their learning instruction. And oftentimes, school teachers just don't have the liberty of having that kind of learning environment. The Collab Lab has that kind of learning environment where the child is truly at the center and their inquiry is deepened because of their own little minds, and so it's amazing.
And you're going to be choosing where the lab is going to be going based upon the needs of that particular area?
That is correct, but it is, you will see Collab Lab sightings all over the community of Houston.
I look forward to seeing that.
Wonderful.
Dr. Melanie Johnson, thank you for what you do, and everyone at Collaborative. Tell them I said hello.
I certainly will.
Okay. As you continue to improve the lives of children. Hey, we've got lots to talk about. We've got to talk about that for next week.